Hi everyone. So this is the first video in the series of videos which will focus around having good strategy in UPSC Prelims. Now this is the first video and also the most important. So please pay close attention. Now, it's observed every year that many students prepare very hard for UPSC Prelims, but not all those who study very hard are able to clear it. Okay. What I've seen, what happens, like, is unfortunately many students lack a strategy in their preparation. Okay, they're willing to work hard, they're willing to put in all the efforts, but they don't have a good strategy. Okay, the strategy, I mean, like you should have priorities. Okay, which thing should be done first, which thing should be done later, which thing should be skipped altogether if needed, like that. So those priorities has to be there. Again, when you study one particular subject, it's not that you have to study everything that is there in the textbook. Okay, it can also happen that you have to study everything in the textbook and something more. So what is that particular thing extra you need to study? For that also we need to have very good strategy. Okay, so there are many points like this, but the most and the most important amongst all of this, I feel, is the subject-wise weightage. Okay, we should have clarity which subject should be done first, which subject should be done later, like that. So in this video, we will be discussing that, which subjects are more important, which are less important. Of course, you need to do all of them, but there is a priority. You cannot treat all of them equal. Okay. So let's start. You must have gone through the chart already. Okay. Now, see, if you observe, like these are 10 subjects. Okay. Art and culture, ancient history, medieval, modern history, polity, economy, geography, environment, S&T, science and tech, and current affairs GK. GK means general knowledge. These are all questions which have been asked since 2011 for that particular subject. At last, there is an average. Okay, average number of questions. Now, why 2011? Because since 2011, the pattern of exam changed. Before that, it used to be 150 marks for GS paper, and there was no separate CSAT paper. So even in GS paper, there used to be CSAT questions. Environment was a little less important. So all of this, like everything changed in 2011. Hence, I have taken, prepared this chart since 2011. Now, if you observe, amongst all these 10 subjects, the most important or the most number of questions have been asked from economy. Okay. On an average, they asked 21 questions. Okay. Now, this is very high. It's like 1/5. Okay. Although there are 10 subjects, 1/5 of questions are coming from a single subject. Okay. Economy. Some year they have asked even as much as 29 questions and sometimes as less as 11. Okay, but the average has always remained high. Okay, like last year there were 16 questions. Okay, after economy, again it's not history or anything, it's environment. Okay, 18 questions. Once they asked 24 and the minimum they asked is 12 questions. Okay, but still the average is very good, 18 questions. After this, it's polity, 15 questions. Maximum they asked is 23 questions in 2017. I remember this paper, like when I was studying in 2019-20, I'd seen this paper, okay, 2017. And if you observe all these 23 questions, all of them are answerable on the basis of Lakshmikant. Okay. If you do Lakshmikant very well, and let's say it's a year like 2017 where you get 23 questions from polity, right? Then it's very easy to clear the exam, right? And imagine the students who are not studying polity so well, right? Like it's very difficult, okay? So economy, environment, polity together. Now, if you combine them together, every year you get more than 50 questions, okay? On an average. So there are, some comes out to be 36 plus 18, 54 questions. Okay. I'm just talking about three subjects, okay? Polity, economy, and environment. Like the sum maximum it has been 64 in 2017, 23, 27, and 14, 64. But on an average, it has been 50, 54. Okay. Now, after that, what matters most is science and tech and geography. Again, these four subjects they're like least important. Now, science and tech you get 11 questions, geography you get 10 questions. The thing with science and tech is if you have good background, like if you have studied science and tech in your graduation, post graduation, and you do have a good understanding of the subject, interest in the subject, you can get good accuracy in this. Okay, like that. You can get 8 correct or like 7 correct out of 11. If you are from humanities, art, and commerce, you may face little difficulty. So, like you will study obviously for the subject, but you may not score 8, 9, 10 like that. Okay. So with that, you should think about science and tech. Regarding geography, everybody can score in geography. There is specific pattern. Again, questions are not as random as they say. Like if you observe our Prelims PYQ book or the syllabus, I'll mention the link in the description below. So if you observe that, like the questions from geography are also predictable. Okay, there are various sections like river-based question, mountain systems, then lagoon, lakes, those based question. Then like that, there are like definite patterns from which the questions are asked every year. Okay, if you study for them separately for each of them, you can score good. Okay, in geography as well. Now after that comes your this art and culture, ancient, medieval, and modern history. If you combine all of them together, it comes out to be 17 questions. Okay. Now, even together, as you can see, it's not as important as economy or environment. Okay, if you combine all these four together. Now, if you ask anybody, like, where do they start their prelims preparation? Most of them they'll say art and culture or ancient history, okay, or modern history, like that. So, thing is, you don't have to treat every subject as equal. Okay, there are some subjects like economy, environment, polity, which are more important than others. If somebody is starting their preparation now, I'll say he should start with economy. Okay, then he should do environment, then he should do polity, then geography, and then like he should look for these subjects. Okay, so that's how like that is the significance of what we are discussing now. Okay, after that, then there is current affairs and GK. Now, in this, I have put questions which are totally random. Okay, like last year they had asked about chess championship or like some other random questions. Okay, which are not there from like which are not from any of these subjects. Okay, which are like totally random, not related to environment or polity or economy. Like okay, like once they had asked about test championship, once they had asked about Khel Ratna Puraskar. Okay, different awards and all. So those are like not related to any of the other subjects. In this current affairs and GK, you should know that even if you study very well, your accuracy is going to be very less. Okay, you can never score than like more than 50% in this current affairs and GK, even if you study everything. Okay, because the questions are going to be very random. Okay, and there is no point, right, spending too much time on current affairs and GK and like getting some 50% questions correct, right? So same time if you spend on economy or environment or geography and polity, you can score very good. Okay, so I'll say this should be your strategy. You should start with economy, you should do environment, then you should do polity. Together you'll cover 50 questions. After that, if you do geography well, you'll cover at least 60, 64 questions on an average. Okay, like that. So if you do these four subjects very well, like a lot of your burden goes away. Okay, your chances of clearing prelims increase very much. So take your time, see the graph. Okay, I've given the link to the page which has this graph again. Like, go to it, see it very carefully. I'll say you will take a printout, paste it in your room because this should be your guide throughout your preparation. Okay. If you have any more queries regarding this, please put in the comments. I'll be very happy to answer. We'll have more videos in this series. So please subscribe and click the notification icon so that next time when we post the video, you'll also get notified. I'll also request if you can please share with your friends this video. It will be good. Okay, thank you.